Runty, Africa, hey. You know, Africa, my mother just loved it. She was a world traveler. She went many, many countries exploring because she had a travel column in the Los Angeles Times in 1961 through 5. And you know, my father didn't really like the idea of her going off alone, but that was my mother. She was a spearhead, a forager. And she went to Africa the first time to go on a tiger hunt with about 10 men. And my dad said, "Are there other women?" No. He was, "I don't know about that, my dear." But off she went. The second time though she went, and she fell in love with a small animal. It was about this size, and it's called a hyrax. And she came back, she took her notes there because she was the great writer, came home and wrote a book. And you know, I discovered it 20 years later. Because my mother had always written columns, but never a book. And I saw these 2 little tapes that were very dusty looking. And I said, "What's this?" She goes, "Well, one day that could be a book." And that was a big hint to me. So to honor my mother, I typed the book up, typed the tapes, had it edited, voila. On Runty's journey, he runs into many African animals. Each chapter is a different animal. There are zebras, there's a rhinoceros, there is a giraffe, many birds, there are flamingos. And what's interesting is, how does he deal with, remember he's this small, and he's with these enormous animals, and he's not afraid. This is what the book portrays, how you go out into the world with love and what comes back to you when you do so. It's for young children, and it really is for all ages because it makes grown-ups cry. It's not something that you just, you know, read right through. However, you can pick any chapter and start right there because each chapter is a world unto its own. Do not go to the back and see the ending. Please don't do that. That will spoil the whole thing, you teachers out there. I think you're going to love this book. I'm going to read one of the chapters entitled "The Jungle." At last, Runty dropped down through the trees on the slopes of Mount Kenya. The cloud-wrapped forest changed to jungle. Birches and conifers gave way to bamboo and silk cotton trees. Their giant roots sprang from the moist soil, and air-breathing parasites lingered everywhere. Saw-leafed ferns snuggled securely in their soggy niches, where branches met trunk and orchid flowers sprang out on slender stems upon the open air like great magic night-blooming moths. Forest animals gave way to jungle inhabitants. None of them noticed little Runty as he silently slipped between the round, smooth boles under the feathery emerald and amber canopy of bamboo. The stone-gray elephants crashed through canes, tearing the trees apart with their ivory tusks and strong trunks. The clever baboons eating fruit greedily in the treetop, bending and swaying the topmost branches with their great weight, comically spitting their bits down upon the head of Runty as he journeyed beneath them on the forest floor. Even the crocodiles, their ungainly bodies, lying like lumpy logs, half submerged in streams that Runty passed over, and their protruding, merciless eyes followed his every move. None of these creatures bothered little Runty as he explored and reveled in the great African jungle. It's a book of love. It teaches us about love. And for adults, we become more childlike, and for children, we learn to love animals and not be afraid of them.